Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome back to Spiegel Mom Scraps Process video. Today we are celebrating a fun hop to kind of say farewell to the old design team. So our term is coming up at the end of April and the new design team will start in May. And so this is kind of like our farewell hop, and you can see all of the gorgeous layouts over on Instagram today. So make sure you check that all out. I will leave the link to the Spiegel Mom Scraps Instagram because that's where you want to start, and then you can hop along accordingly. Today I have decided to go ahead and use this gorgeous cut file. It is from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and it is exclusive to their own Facebook group. So you have to be a member of the Facebook group, and then Virginia releases a free cut file every month, and this is the one for April. I did go ahead and do some stitching with it, as you can see there. I used a teal on the outside and a really pretty blue on the inside, so there's a bit of contrast. And now I'm going to back just the floral and greenery of that moon. I'm not going to actually back the moon itself because that's where my sequins are going to come into play. Now, I am not very good at backing cut files. I'll be honest with you. I struggle with it. I have learned, however, a really good trick for when you're doing it is have your glue and just do little dots of glue in certain areas and then glue it down. It keeps it from getting messy. And then if you're using that Nuvo glue like I had there, anything that does spill over, it's clear so you don't see it anyways. So that is my little trick to you if you're going to go ahead and do that. If you are a cut file fan, I will also say Jody herself will release cut files, and a lot of times they are available through the newsletter. This comes out every Sunday, and it's called the Sunday Sparkler. So if you want to be sign up for that, I'll leave the link for the shop, and you just sign up when you go to visit the shop, and it just comes to your inbox every single Sunday. You get inspiration, tips and tricks, all sorts of really fun things. So make sure you check that out. I've got my photo down now. You can see I'm also using a nice border. The collection I am using is from Paige Evans on the Scenic Route. This is my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of April. I am determined to scrap all of my vacation photos from last summer. We went on our very first family vacation. It was an overnight stay, so we left very early one morning, spent the day at the beach, did all the fun things, slept in a hotel, a very, very hot, not air-conditioned hotel, and then we had one more day, and then went home later in that afternoon. It was lots of fun. I've taken lots and lots of photos, so much so that I decided that it needed its own album. And to keep the consistency with it, I wanted to use the same collection. And this particular Paige Evans collection, which I received from Scrapbook Your Joy, was just perfect. So that is what I am using for this. And now here comes the sequence and what I'm doing. So for this hop, Daisy came up with a really neat idea that we use one of our oldest sequence mixes in our stash with one of our newer ones. So that is exactly what I am doing. My older one is called My Clementine, and I'm not exactly sure how old it is, but I do know it's older. Then my newer one is called Dance It Out. They both have some blues and some whites, and it just combine perfectly together. So those are what I'm using. And to get them on, you can see I've grabbed my Nuvo adhesive again, and I'm just putting a layer on. I'm going to sprinkle some sequins on, and then I use the actual packaging that it comes in to kind of pat it down. Keeps my fingers from getting gross, and a lot of times I find the sequins will stick to my fingers, whereas it will not stick to when I press it down with the packaging. And then I flip over the page, and whatever falls out, and I let it be. So that is how I've included my two mixes into this layout. I also decided that it needed just a little bit more to help tell my story. And so I also had these 3 photos of my kids individually. Now, this is the second day in the morning. The kids were kind of testing out the water to see if it was warm enough to go play in. It was freezing. I never actually went swimming in it. I put my toes in it, but I didn't go swimming in it. It was way too cold. But my kids were all for it. So they're just kind of testing out the water and seeing if they were ready for it yet. And it's just really cute. I love the angle of that 4x6 photo. The way I caught that photo, I just loved the angle of it. And then I feel like the individual photos just kind of tell more of a style, give the layout a little bit more of an interest in design, because I'm going to kind of do an upper 2/3, but it's in a like vertical, like diagonal, I guess, design. It's really interesting how this layout came together, because I just was kind of playing and I just kept adding, and I touched everything I had in the collection to see if it would work. And eventually what the final result is how it turned out. And I just kind of let it be. I didn't really have a plan for this layout. A lot of times I've been inspired by a layout that I've seen, or I'm following a sketch or something like that. So I normally have something up in my little corner there for you to see, but I've got nothing. This was all just me playing, which is really fun. And I loved how I was able to use something like a moon, which I would normally associate with maybe documenting night, obviously, or my kids sleeping. But instead, I'm doing this, and I feel like it works. The pre-mixed media background from Vicky Booten with the stars, I loved that color, and it popped my photos, which I really loved as well. And it all just kind of blended itself in together to this layout that is a little different. I like it. I really like it, but it's a little different design for me. And so I just kind of used some of my stuff. I'm very much, when I'm using a kit, I don't want to just throw stuff on there to throw it on there so I can say I used it up. I want it to look like it's meant to be there. That's a very big thing for me. And so I did that, and I took my time with this layout. I had to do it in little chunks here and there. I was creating it at a time when my heart wasn't really into scrapbooking at that moment. So I had to force myself to create it, and it really did help me I was feeling like a slump was coming on, but it helped me snap out of it. So that was great. I'm also going to use up this whole package of enamel shapes, which I struggle with enamel things, like enamel dots, enamel shapes. They're not my cup of tea, but I was able to use them in the center of these flowers, and it makes it a little blingy. I kind of did tone on tone for most of them, so it's subtle, and I love that I was able to use that up. So that package is all done, which is awesome. That's a great thing for killing a kit. And then I'm gonna go in here now. I'm gonna try and use some chipboard. I don't actually think I get any chipboard used. It just didn't work. I think I use one sticker. I think it says together, and I put it on the side of my larger photo. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring out the florals. Those are ones I had kind of been hoarding. So it was nice to get those used up. I used a few here and there just to kind of round it out and give, again, that kind of diagonal vibe that kind of turns into. And it's almost like the moon turned into a circle versus a moon. So you can't really even tell it's a moon, because that top photo of my oldest son is covering the tip. And most of my stitching got covered up, but it's all good. Like I said, I like the layout, so I don't care. I know it's a moon. You know it's a moon. You saw me use it. It doesn't matter if anyone else sees it. And okay, so here's the sticker. I'll do everything else. I'd also like to mention, if you're not a part yet, you should go check out the Spread the Sparkle Facebook group. It's always lots of fun inspiration there, ways to use sequins as well. That's a good place to be. And if you don't have the Dance It Out sequins mix that I've used today, you definitely need to go check that out. It's available in the shop right now, and it's just so pretty. Plus, all the April releases are out too, and you can always use my code Christy15. It will give you 15% off in the shop, and as long as it's not a pre-release, so if you pre-order May's release, you can't use the discount on that because you're already getting a discount, but you can use it for the ones that are available as of this moment. So I'm just going to finish this all off by adding some kind of messy lines to bring in the cut file, and the black. It kind of just ties it all together, and that is going to do it for this layout. So anyone else that is having a video, I'll try to add the links as I see them, but be sure to check out Instagram. You'll see everyone's layouts there. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.